So, that Smash Brothers Direct, it was alright, I guess. Oh, who am I kidding? It was the best news we've gotten since E3 last year! Normally I would have just made a quick post on Facebook or something about the highlights of the Direct, but there was just too much new content shown that I couldn't possibly talk about everything without doing a video about it. For the sake of time though, I'm really only going to focus on the things that stood out most to me. Not everything will be covered, so I suggest you watch the Direct yourself if you want to know every little detail that was confirmed. Let's start out by talking about the release date, or release windows I guess I should say. The 3DS version is coming in summer, while the Wii U version is coming in winter. This was probably the best possible move to be made for a number of reasons. The most obvious being that we get one version to play a lot sooner than we expected. Because both versions are being released months apart, they won't be competing or overshadowing each other. Even though it is a little disheartening that we still have such a long time to wait for the Wii U version, I think getting the 3DS version to hold us over in the meantime definitely softens the blow. If we had to wait for both versions until winter, that would have been pretty hard to swallow. There are also a few other things to keep in mind about this. E3 is literally only 2 months away. I'm willing to bet that we'll get an exact release date for the 3DS version at E3, if not sooner. While I'm trying to be realistic and not expect to see this game until August, think of how perfect it would be to have this game to play in June or July. I mean, it's perfect because since it's the handheld version, people could play Smash Brothers while they travel on vacation, in a car ride or something. I mean, that would be awesome. But even if we don't get the game until late summer, there's still another bright side to all this. Since both games will have the same characters, we'll know the entire roster once this version comes out. We won't have to be guessing or making blind predictions much longer, and we can spend the rest of the year enjoying the game instead of arguing about who's going to be in it. Think of all the arguments that can finally be put to rest in just a few short months. I have to admit that I'm surprised that it's the 3DS version that's coming out first. I thought it would take a lot more time since this is the first time Smash is being developed for a handheld. But now I'm curious as to what they're doing in the Wii U version that requires so much more time. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Although we didn't get a ton of new stage reveals, it was nice to see almost all the ones we did know about prior in motion as opposed to just screenshots. That said, the new stages we did see include Final Destination, which is probably the best looking version to date, a balloon fight stage, and the return of Jungle Japes and Halberd as well as Palutena's temple. The balloon fight stage really intrigued me. It looks as though characters can no longer be KO'd by the sides of the screen since they just reappear on the other side. It makes me wonder where the boundaries for the stage are going to be then. Is it just the water and the top of the screen? Who knows? We'll just have to wait and find out. Jungle Japes isn't a bad choice for a stage, but this is the third time we've been on this stage. I'm hoping we'll get to see more Melee stages that we haven't played on in more than one game. Palutena's temple, my god. This has got to be the biggest stage in Smash Brothers history. I mean, look at it! It's twice the size of New Pork City easily, and 3 times the size of Hyrule Temple. I hope there's a more effective penalty against camping in this game, or else this place will be an absolute nightmare to fight on. Also, is it just me, or does the area in the top left corner look just like Skyworld in Brawl? Could they have put that stage back in, but expanded the entire area immensely? Halberd was one of my favorite stages in Brawl, so I'm glad to see it come back. It also hints greatly that Meta Knight will be coming back, though was there ever really any doubt about that? I have to say though that the stage honestly does not look that different in HD at the moment. Perhaps this will change in the final version, but if not, it's not a big deal. After all, the Melee stages didn't get much of a visual upgrade when they were ported over to Brawl either. I was glad to see that we finally got an explanation for what role the Yellow Devil plays on the Mega Man stage, and I have to say that the whole idea of combining stage hazards and bosses into one was really creative. I really hope they use this idea and incorporate bosses into more stages than just this one. And speaking of bosses, Sakurai just had to tease us with Ridley by showing his shadow on Pyrosphere, and a lot of people are blowing up about this. Guys, Ridley has not been confirmed to be a boss yet. He didn't even mention Ridley by name. All we saw was a shadow. He's just messing with us. If Ridley were definitely a boss, why didn't Sakurai just show him up front and say, also Ridley's a boss? He's obviously still hiding something, so just calm down and be patient. We don't know anything for sure yet. Now let's move on to online play, and I was really excited to learn about this one. So apparently you can still customize all the rules when playing with friends, but when playing with anyone, you now have the choice of 2 modes, For Fun and For Glory. For Fun lets you play on any stage except Final Destination, all items are on, and only your wins are recorded, so there's no pressure to do well. So it's exactly what it sounds like. You go to this mode when you just want to play casually and don't really want to be super competitive. You go to here to play for fun. In For Glory, on the other hand, the only stage is Final Destination. No items, Fox only, but not really. One-on-one battles are possible, thank God, and both your wins and losses are recorded. So if you're in the mood to play super competitively, you go here and fight For Glory. While I can't say I prefer one mode or the other based on how they appear to work at the moment, I do appreciate that there's a lot more structure in matchmaking than the pure randomness of with anyone mode in Brawl. However, if you groaned at the idea of being stuck on Final Destination every single time you want to play competitively, fear not. There are also going to be flat Final Destination variants of almost every single stage. These will be available in For Glory mode as well. When I saw this, all I could think was, Sakurai knows about Project M. He knows, and this is his response to it. I think this is a fantastic way to encourage playing on more than just a few stages, and I love it. In addition to the new online modes, a new code of conduct is going to be implemented. It is implied that there will be penalties to several variations of abuse towards the online system. They are designed to cut down on things such as cheating, frequent disconnects, people who just sit there and don't play, people who frequently self-destruct, etc. I hope this means they are specifically taking campers and taunt spammers into account, as that was a frequent problem with the online on Brawl. As for what I think of these new rules, all I can say is, well done, Nintendo. Well done. See, you don't have to restrict your online features just to keep the kids safe. You can implement rules to keep things safe and fun for everyone. I do hope this system is successful and serves as an example for how Nintendo should implement online play into their games in the future. This was a necessary first step to take, and they're finally taking it. While I'm very excited to try out both For Fun and For Glory mode, I just hope they utilize the gamepad's microphone to allow voice chat for with friends, and I'll be golden. Of course, all of this will mean nothing if the netcode is as bad as Brawl, so let's just make sure that's working efficiently above all else. Another feature of online that was touched upon briefly was something called Global Smash Power. Not much was really explained though, so I don't fully understand what areas you will be scored on, so I'm going to need to wait for a little more information before I can comment on this feature. God damn it, that was the one item I was hoping they wouldn't put in. I can't wait to see this on characters like Ganondorf, but how will the tail look on characters that already have a tail? I mean, there's quite a lot of them. There's Fox, Yoshi, Charizard, Lucario, Pikachu, Bowser, Diddy, and Sonic has one too, even though it's so small I forget it's there sometimes. I mean, are we going to get like a tailception thing going on here or what? Great addition, though I keep forgetting that it was already a stage hazard back in the original Smash Bros. This is a creative one. I like it. Ness or Lucas confirmed. If it's faster than Sonic, pretty much everyone is screwed. Well, Olimar's definitely getting a new Final Smash. I think Little Mac is really the only character who's going to take advantage of this. It's a nice reference to the series, but it kind of reminds me of Snake's side special. I wonder if you can control its path. I wonder if Snake's coming back at all. Troll! Well, there goes my idea of Samurai Goro being playable. But Captain Falcon confirmed. No! Not him! I'm so sorry, CJ. Why is he now part of the WarioWare series? Ugh! I kind of hope he does more than that. Good choice there. Wario confirmed. Nobody else in Metroid is going to be playable but Ridley. This is a good one. This is the greatest thing ever. Just ever. God is coming to Meteor Smash us all. Foreshadowing? Well, there goes another one of my character ideas. This has so much potential. I look forward to seeing what Eevee does. Not entirely unexpected, but still cool. This is fantastic. This one looks to be one of the better ones. So, what does Xerneas do? And then we get to returning characters. The big takeaway message from the Direct about characters is that transformations are gone. Zero Suit Samus is back, but using Samus's Final Smash no longer forces you to play as her. The new Jet Boots make her a bit stronger and give her a new recovery. Hopefully she'll get a new Final Smash as well. I don't have much else to say about Zero Suit Samus personally, since I never really used her that much. Likewise, Zelda and Sheik are now separate as well. Zelda's new down special is the Phantom Slash, as we saw in that one screenshot when she was revealed, and Sheik has some new moves as well, such as Burst Grenade and Bouncing Fish. The removal of transformation leaves a bit of mystery around the Pokemon trainer. Charizard was confirmed to be returning, but there's no sign of the trainer. Looks like the two had a bit of a falling out, and he's decided to go solo now. There's also no sign of Squirtle or Ivysaur. While it is more likely that neither of them will be returning, there's no confirmation that they've been cut either. As someone who loved to play as all three Pokemon in Brawl, I am hoping Squirtle and Ivysaur make it back as their own characters like Sheik and Zero Suit Samus, but I don't think that is quite as likely since the Pokemon section of the roster is starting to get a bit competitive for spots. Unlike most, I was actually really glad to see Yoshi confirmed this time. I knew he would be in the game, but I was just so anxious to see what changes they would make to him and what he would look like. Not a whole lot of time was spent talking about him, and the biggest change emphasized is that he now stands upright instead of being hunched over. That's nice, but I don't really think it was worth holding off from revealing him for this long. Oh well, at last my Triforce of Mains is complete. I was really glad to see the changes are being made to all of the characters. I think this really goes a long way to making the roster balanced, which appears to be the top priority. So much better than his old Final Smash. So, Mega Evolution's confirmed, huh? Interesting. Now that is a good recovery. As long as they get rid of Hiya, I'll be satisfied with Pit. Also, Palutena is no longer his Final Smash. Playable Palutena confirmed? Maybe. Looks like a hit or miss depending on the situation. Little Mac's power meter builds up over time as you attack and receive damage. He almost sounds like a variation of Lucario's ability. At least you won't be able to charge up and launch the one-hit KO at any time. That would be pretty broken if it was spammable, so I like how this is a reward you have to earn by fighting effectively. He builds a house on top of you. No, seriously, he builds an exploding house on top of you. Nintendo, please just buy the rights to Mega Man already. For some reason, that crawl makes me laugh. I can't wait to experiment with this, but I want to wait for more info about it first. So this is the new mode on 3DS where the screenshots of the single-player mode came from. You wander around an arena and collect power-ups under a 5-minute time limit. Then you go into battle against your opponents and use the power-ups you collected to give yourself whatever advantages you can. It's basically City Trial from Kirby Air Ride. And given that City Trial was my favorite mode from that game, I'm really excited about this one. Also, look! Kremlings! King K. Rool confirmed. And then, of course, we come to the big newcomer reveal at the very end of the Direct. And the newcomer is Greninja. This is probably one of the most interesting reveals for me personally because I love it, but at the same time, I was disappointed that it wasn't Mewtwo. Now, there was some talk about the idea of Greninja before, but the general consensus seemed to be that he would only appear as part of a trio with the other starters in the form of a Kalos trainer. Well, there's no Pokemon trainer at all apparently in this game, and Fennekin and Chespin are in Pokeballs, so Greninja is his own character. Nobody really seemed to think that this was likely, myself included, so it really was all the more surprising that it actually did happen. In fact, I remember stating in conversations that I did like Greninja, but I didn't think he would actually make it in the game as a character. And I didn't think Charizard would just be on his own either. I was so sure that Pokemon Trainer was going to come back intact with all three of his Pokemon. So how do you think I felt when I watched the trailer and saw just how wrong I was on both counts? I loved it, but at the same time, I was pretty mad. So we've got 4 Pokemon characters now. Pikachu, Lucario, Charizard, and Greninja. Will there be more? Probably. If you counted the transformations separately, Brawl had 6 Pokemon characters. If they're going to do so again this time around, then we can probably expect that there will be 2 more Pokemon revealed. But who will they be? The most widely received theory is that one of them is Jigglypuff returning. Very possible, as much as I dislike Jigglypuff, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen. Then that leaves only one more spot. Could it be Mewtwo, perhaps? Ever since this trailer went live, I've been getting a bunch of comments about what this means for Mewtwo's chances, since you all know how much I want him back. But let's get a few things straight here. I do not have a problem with Greninja at all. Not at all. I love Greninja. He's probably one of my favorite 6th gen Pokemon. I raised a Froakie in Pokemon X. I'm very happy to see Greninja in this game, and I'll probably use him a lot. But he does not prove that Mewtwo isn't coming back. He does not. Even if Jigglypuff does come back, there's still at least one more spot left. Lucario had nothing to do with Mewtwo's chances in Brawl, and I don't think Greninja has anything to do with Mewtwo's chances now. Nobody has any effect on Mewtwo except Sakurai deciding on it or not. Sakurai knows we want Mewtwo. He even said we're thinking about it. He's probably just teasing us like he's been doing with Ridley, because the uncertainty of whether or not a popular character will get in builds hype. He's building hype for the game. If he showed us his whole deck now before the game came out, the game wouldn't be exciting. There wouldn't be as much hype. So he's purposefully playing with us like this. I want to believe that he's playing with us with the idea of Mewtwo. I don't care what is shown in this game Pokemon related. I refuse to give up hope for Mewtwo to get in this game until either Sakurai comes out and confirms that he's not in it, or I play the game, unlock everything, and see no sign of him. That is the only time I will believe that Mewtwo is not in the game. Until that time comes, however, I will keep advocating for Mewtwo. Remember that we've still got E3 coming up in 2 months. Maybe they could reveal him then, because he is a popular character and he can generate a lot of hype, just like Ridley. I wouldn't be surprised if at E3 they revealed both Mewtwo and Ridley, just because the game is coming out so soon. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Do I think it's going to happen? Not necessarily, but that's what I'm betting on. Or maybe Mewtwo won't get revealed at E3. Maybe he just won't get a big reveal at all because they've decided to make him a secret character that you won't see until you actually play the game and unlock everything. I don't know. I don't know what his chances are at this point, but that's just it. Nobody knows what's going on. Everyone needs to just stop acting like every new Pokemon news pertaining to this game that isn't confirming Mewtwo means that he's not going to be in it. Like I said, nobody has any affecting chances on him. Let's just wait until we learn more or until the game comes out and we play it. Now, at this point, I am preparing for the idea of Mewtwo not being in this game. I think that's still very possible as much as I do want him. I mean, what if Mewtwo doesn't get in, Jigglypuff gets cut, and instead the last 2 spots go to Squirtle and Ivysaur as their own separate characters? Is that very likely to happen? Not really, but it's still not impossible. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have all of these Pokemon playable. I would have Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Lucario, Mewtwo, Greninja, Charizard, Squirtle, and Ivysaur. 8 Pokemon characters. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not Sakurai, so that's most likely not going to happen either, but that's what I would do, because I think that would make a lot of people happy. But again, it's not up to me. But getting back to Mewtwo, if he isn't in the game, will I be disappointed? Yes, I will. I mean, he's the character I want most, more than any newcomer, and I feel all the circumstances are in place to guarantee him a spot and priority this time around. I feel they could do wonders with Mewtwo, with the new engine and the way they're programming characters and the changes they're making. He wouldn't just be ported from Melee. They could make tweaks to him, and they can make him so much better. I know how bad he was in Melee, but I know they can make him so much better if they decide to go with him. But if he isn't in the game, he isn't in the game. There's nothing anyone can do about that. I mean, I'll still have Greninja and Lucario and Charizard and plenty of other characters to enjoy, so I will still love this game regardless. But my point is that this Direct does not change anything about Mewtwo's chances. Nothing was mentioned about him at all. Greninja does not change anything about him. It's great that Greninja's here. It really is, and I'm going to love playing as him too. But there's still plenty of secrets in the game that we don't know about. Until the 3DS version comes out this summer, I am going to keep holding out hope for Mewtwo no matter what anyone says. End of discussion. Well, that's about all I have to say about the Direct, guys. Thanks for watching. I know there was a lot to cover, and it was pretty long, but there was still plenty I didn't even touch on in this, and yeah. I appreciate you guys sticking with me for this long, and thanks for that. So now begins the long wait for the 3DS version to come out. It's going to be great.